Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am closing out a recent little challenge I gave myself. I wanted to spell out the word holidays, but each subsequent day I would only be allowed to use shadows which began with the next letter. So I did an entire video using only shadows that started with H, then the next video, only shadows that started with O, etc. all the way down the line until I got to today's video. All of the shadows you see on my eyes begin with the letter S. I have been calling this series One Letter Looks, and it, along with all of the previous videos for this holidays word, linked down below in the description box. I absolutely love the way that today's look turned out. This is a great finish to my little holidays series. Now without further ado, let's just jump into this eye look because it's smashing. So for my S letters today, these are the palettes that I can choose from. Remember that I will card right here a video for you guys showing you the process as to how I allocated palettes to letters. It was pretty random, honestly, and I just wanted to not give myself every single letter themed shadow in my entire collection because that would have been insanity. So what I did was I limited myself to 6 palettes and whatever my options were within those palettes. So I'm going to quickly swatch them on my arm as I have done in every previous video, and then we're going to look at the color story and decide what to do. First, I have the Aura palette from Ace Beauté. There is one here called Soul. And here we have Sunburst. Oh, and Sultry. Gee, 3 right off the bat. Soul, Sunburst, Sultry. Limoncello from ColourPop. There's a shadow in here called Serenade. Oh, I knew that. It's like my favorite shadow in the palette. And then we have Semifreddo, which in Italian means partially cold. I have a lot of Oden's eye in today's pick, and again, that was almost random because this was the last letter that I allocated, so it was kind of like intentionally throughout the previous letters, I didn't want to focus only on one brand. I wanted to spread it out, which meant that because I have a lot of Oden's eye, by the time I finally got to the final letter, there were still a lot of Oden's eye left. So there are 3 Oden's eyes in today's video. Here's the Nord's palette, which has been reformulated and repackaged into their new and beautiful updated like pan sizes, a little bit more product, and I believe that these few shades that are troublesome are fixed. So I almost bought the new formulation during the Black Friday sales. I didn't, but I almost did. Okay, just the shade down here is called Self. This is I'm actually quite excited about this one because it's so pretty. In the Oden's Eye Hummingbird palette collaboration with Tina from the Fancy Face, we've got the shade Star Apple, and here is Swallowed. Star Apple is a deep purple matte, and then Swallowed is a very vibrant orange shimmer. The Garden of Juvia's palette from Juvia's Place. The S color in here is Sunshine, and we have Sweet Lilac as well. I'm sensing a purple and gold theme. And there's one more palette to swatch. It is Saga of Freya Cat's Breath from Oden's Eye's Freya collection. And the S in here is called Soft. It's this orangey shimmer down here. Definitely a theme. Let's see what this one is looking like. This is more of an orange brown. It's got a little bit of brown in it. So here's my color story. I'm not really sure what to do with it. There's a lot of purple and there's a lot of orangey tones. And gold. It's actually extremely cohesive. Like, this is its own little palette, right? I have been loving the way that this challenge has worked out each day, except for the Y. I didn't like my Y choices, and there was one other look that I didn't love. But aside from that, the color stories that I've been getting have been really pretty. Like, I would buy a palette in that color story. I mean, there are palettes in this color story. This is so nice. So I'm going to decide what to do. Most likely going to be orange, purple, gold. You know, that's kind of the vibe we're getting here. I will prime my eyes with the Glamlight Icing Primer. Everything that I'm using is, as always, linked down below in the description box. We're going to zoom in and get going. Okay, I have a partial plan. I know what I'm going to do for my mattes, and the problem is I really want to use that super bright, beautiful multi-chrome from the Nord's palette, which is very purple and blue and a few other colors, mainly purple. But I also really want to use a vibrant orange shimmer from the Hummingbird palette. And I know that you can do them together. I don't know if I want to do them like next to each other because they're very comparable in depth. I wouldn't get the contrast that I like. I would get fun colors. I'm not sure. I'm not decided on the shimmers yet, but I do know what I'm going to do for mattes, so let's get going with that. I'm starting with the Limoncello palette in the matte called Semifreddo which is kind of all the mattes in this palette except for two basically are very warm toned, and this is a mid-toned sort of depth. So I'm putting semifreddo here at my inner corner area or inner crease. This is light enough that it's playing out as orange. It doesn't really look very brown. Sweet Lilac is in the Garden of Juvia's, and I'm placing that right here. I'll fill the rest of my crease with this shade, so it'll be the outer half. I'm also going to gently do small concentric circles. Make sure I have the color on top of my hood so that you can see it when my eyes are looking straight ahead. And those little circles are gently pulling the color, smaller and smaller circles, pulling it up and out in a soft cat eye shape. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this series. I've had a great time, honestly. Like I said, there were only two looks that I didn't like a lot. I didn't love my first look, the orange, not the orange, sorry, orange on the brain. The blue-green look with the H letters was okay, I liked it, but I didn't love it. I liked all of the subsequent looks more, except my Y video. That one was hard. That one was really hard. I only had one matte and 3 shimmers, only 4 shadows altogether, and it was just kind of a big mess. But it was still fun. It was fun to challenge myself, and it's really been fun, honestly, to go through my whole collection because I have used almost all of my palettes. It's been a good time. I'm going to deepen that outer corner now with the purple matte from Hummingbird. It's called Star Apple. I probably should have put that lilac color more on the outer, like, lid space. I think I contained it a bit too much to the crease and not enough on the lid. I've been doing that a lot lately. It's because I'm not used to doing a transition color and then building. I tend to start with the deepest and then work out. I think that's the part that's got me a little bit off my game because I'm not used to building. That's not typically the strategy or technique that I use. So this is interesting. This is patchy right here. There, I fixed it. I fixed it by dipping back in and touching that spot very gently. I never get patchiness with Oden's Eye, ever. But I'm building Oden's Eye on top of Juvia's Place. So they're just different formulas. And that's what you get for mixing different formulas. I'm going to go back into the blending brush that I used for the softer purple color and just do the same motion, honestly. Try to soften it out here. I'm going in very, very lightly and trying not to add in more product. So when I've done this a bit, I'll go and wipe off my brush and then come back in with something clean. I did dab a little bit more of that Sweet Lilac color on the rest of the outer lid. Okay, so now I need to decide about these shimmers. Like I said, I can't quite decide between the Vibrant Orange shimmer or the beautiful Multichrome from the Norns palette. Right now, my look is quite purple. So Norns is going to work, but I really want to play with that orange. Speaking of combining formulas, I'm going to start with my original plan, which was to take this light orangey shimmer from the Juvia's Place palette that's called Sunshine. I'm going to load up my brush pretty nicely and then I'll spray it. I wanted to use this one on my inner corner, like the inner lid space, because it's light toned and that gives me the contrast that I like. And this is an orangey yellow kind of shimmer. Beautiful contrast. I might as well use it as an inner corner highlight since I'm here and it's light enough, so I'll just kind of drag it over this direction a bit. I still prefer a matte inner corner, but I don't have those options when I'm doing this kind of a theme video. Don't always have that. Okay. I was going to do this right into the purple, and that would be beautiful. I'm trying to figure out if I can incorporate the orange. Same brush going into the purple that is called Self within the Norns palette. I'm going to load up one side of the brush and spray it. I'm taking Self and I'm laying it on the rest of the lid space and just letting it blend gently into that buttery yellow orange shimmer from the Garden of Juvia's palette. I'll incorporate the orange shimmer somewhere else, I think. I don't have to, but it's so pretty. But I really want this Self shade to shine and be able to demonstrate all of the different shifts in it. Adding too many shimmers kind of muddies that a little bit. I think I'll incorporate the orange into the lower lash line. So I'm going back into Sweet Lilac first. And I want to put this on the outer half of the lower lash line with quite a small blending brush. I don't necessarily like it too much when my lower lash line is an entirely different color. The more I do that, and even the more I see other people do it, I'm just less drawn to it. I like my outer color to wrap around, but I do like to incorporate sometimes a few different colors on my lower lash line in like the inner half, because you can use this sort of thing as an inner corner highlight, lead into a different fun color, and then continue the wraparound from above. So that's what I'm going to do today. And then with quite a small and rather tight blending brush, I am taking Swallowtail and I will spray this. Swallowtail has the texture that you kind of have to press in place. It's very, very creamy, but it also has some fallout. So I'm gonna, because I already have my bright yellow here, I'm gonna take Swallowtail and just push it onto this inner lower lash line space, basically until it's off my brush. I'm not going to try to drag it. I'm not going to try to blend it. It's a very small brush for precision. I'm just laying it down. And because I sprayed it, it made it a bit tacky, so it's staying in place. I also picked up just a little bit more of Self, and I'm doing the same thing here. Now I'll take a smudger brush and deepen the outer corner with the dark purple, which was also from Hummingbird. Okay guys, that's about the gist of it. I will choose something for my waterline and go off camera and clean up a little bit, finish up, and I'll be right back. I absolutely love this. I love this. I think it is so fun. I love the color contrast. I love the depth contrast. I think it's beautiful. Let me tell you what I did to finish off. In my waterline, I used an orange. This is the shade 002 from Oden's Eye. And I did a winged eyeliner, inner, outer, lined the whole set of lashes, and then I put on some mascara. So that's everything for the eyes. On my lips, I'm wearing this Italia Deluxe ultra fine lip liner in the shade 1052 Natural Beige, and then I topped it with the NYX Butter Gloss. A new color for me is called Lava Cake, and I think it's the deepest brown that they offer. I have really been enjoying a more neutral toned lip, and I think it's because I like a little bit of color or shine or something on my lips, but I don't want to compete with the eyes. I always want the eyes to be front and center, foremost. This is the thing I want people looking at. This is the thing I want to look at. I feel like it makes my face more squished if I have a lot going on here and a lot going on here, like the colors competing. So very much enjoying more natural colored lips. For a second, on my cheeks, I'm wearing the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek in the shade No Vacancy. This is a beautiful peachy tone. You know, I have discovered that I really enjoy peach blush. And now that Pantone has just announced the color of the year as being fuzzy peach, I'm all about it. I like peach blush on myself. I think it works well with my skin tones. When I wear pink and red and purple blushes, I feel that they just make me look flushed, as opposed to like a healthy, happy, energetic glow, whereas I think peach brightens my face. I really like a peach blush. So this is the shade No Vacancy, and I believe that is everything. Everything, again, linked down below in the description box. So let me do a quick recap of this video, today's letter, and the whole series in general. It's gonna be very quick. Today I was allowed to use 6 palettes. I only used 4, so I did not use the Aura or the Cat's Breath palettes, and I did use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shadows altogether. Now I want to tell you, referencing my list here from the very beginning, let me quickly update it and then I'll get back to you in a second. Okay, so these were all of the palettes in my entire collection, and everything that you see highlighted was used in this little holidays series. If my records are correct, the only palettes I did not use at all were Paletopoly, Whistler Snow Lodge, Wilderness, because Wilderness had the same shade as the Earthy palette, which I made a mistake there. Cat's Breath, Merry Christmas from Oden's Eye, Lost in Los Angeles, Tinkerbell, Or Kid You Not, Queen Bee, Aura Nouveau, Verona, Love and Death, and Paradise. Aside from that, I believe I used every palette in my eyeshadow palette collection with the exception of my Adept Plain Jane, because it's just named with numbers, and the MAC quad that my sister gave me, because I didn't remember the names of the shadows and I didn't have the time to go back and look. That's everything. I really hope that you have enjoyed this series. Truly, I have very much enjoyed it. I've had a great time. It has been so much fun to go through all of my palettes, to play with all of them, to compare the colors and the formulas, to see what I like working with. It's been really fun to challenge myself to just use one letter at a time. It's kind of like palette bingo, but a different twist on it. It's been a great time. Besides that, there are just one or two other thoughts I have about this series in general. Like I said, I really enjoy the one-letter looks, but I didn't love doing the word holidays as far as the length of it. It was a lot. It was fun, but I felt that there was a little bit of pressure put on myself. I put on myself to make sure I get this content out at a certain time, and that felt like it took a bit of the fun out of it, because with 3 children and homeschooling responsibilities and stuff, I just don't feel that I have a lot of reliability that I can count on having a chunk of time to film what I need to film. It's kind of a matter of if I can make the time. So I enjoyed the concept of it, but maybe not putting the pressure on myself to do at least a longer word. And then my other consideration along those lines was that my collection of thumbnails for the last 15 videos, really unexciting. I really enjoy having the variety of thumbnails, the variety of videos. You know, maybe it's a palette bingo or a shop my stash or a chatty get ready with me or a tag video. I like having a variety within my video uploads in sequence and the thumbnails and stuff. So I have very much enjoyed this. I hope you have too. I love today's look. It's one of my favorites from this little holidays series. Remember to check below in the description box where everything I'm using is linked, as well as all of the previous videos. So the entire word of holiday is down in the description box, all of those videos. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here. I hope that you'll consider liking and subscribing if you haven't yet and you want to see more content like this. And I'll see you guys again very soon in my next video. Bye.